a team of 2 teachers at Larkhall Academy in St. John's, Newfoundland. Larkhall is a K-6 school with approximately 440 students representing over 25 different nationalities. Shane Fitzgerald is a grade 4 teacher at Larkhall. He has a class of 21 students consisting of 9 girls and 12 boys. He has been teaching for 9 years. Shane enjoys using technology in his classroom and thought it would be a perfect fit to combine technology and science for the purpose of this project.
Krista Molloy is a grade 4 teacher and the assistant principal at our school. She has a class of 18 students comprised of 11 girls and 7 boys. Krista has been teaching for 10 years. Krista has a passion for science and enjoys looking for new and innovative ideas to challenge both her and her students. After a presentation by Tom Walsh and Craig Adams at our school, we decided to investigate the possibility of bringing STEM to Larkhall for the very first time. We began discussing topics that we could connect to our science curriculum, and after meeting with a parent who has considerable experience with drone technology, we felt this would be a very exciting and innovative new way to supplement our science curriculum. The general focus of our project from the beginning was to incorporate drone technology into our classroom to increase student motivation and engagement. When we began this project, we explored our science curriculum to decide what areas best suited the use of this technology.
The grade 4 unit on habitats was an area we felt could best be enhanced through the use of drones. We felt we could extend our classroom walls by providing students with the opportunity to view Newfoundland habitats from a different perspective. Also, providing students the opportunity to become familiar with a new, revolutionary area of technology.
At the start of the project, consent forms were sent home with all students to obtain permission for them to be photographed and video recorded and to participate in the project. In September, parents and guardians were given more information about the project during our curriculum night presentation and continued to receive updates through Twitter, emails, class updates, school newsletters, etc.
During the planning stages of our project, we investigated and researched drone prototypes, how drones can be used in the classroom, and tried our best to identify any limitations that may occur down the road. In consultation with our partner, Jamie Williams, who has an extensive working knowledge of drones and drone-related technology, we decided to build our own rather than purchase pre-made kits. Jamie felt we would get a better quality product and be able to troubleshoot any mechanical issues that may occur. We then began creating a list of parts and accessories needed. We submitted the application knowing our resource budget was high, hoping our project proposal would pique the interest of the selection committee. Once our project was accepted, we needed to apply for additional resource funding to make our drones take flight. Memorial University STEM Project Committee granted us the extra funding and we were ready to begin.
You can see on the box there, that's got a bunch of cables plugging that into the microcontroller.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's pretty much all that's to that. There's not a big lot to that.
So do you have to be careful of where this is or how it's like
we're
out
gonna
there?
On December 21st, the day after we learned how to build our drones, Transport Canada released new regulations expanding the no-fly zone. Transport Canada identifies no-fly zones as any area where it may be unsafe or illegal to fly your drone. Our schoolyard and neighboring soccer field was the perfect area to fly our drone, but because of these new regulations, we were at a standstill.
But then it would go forward and like flip. Yeah. So like and if you want to like go forward and turn a bit, you go like that. Yeah.
After Christmas break, we began looking at possible areas to take our students to learn how to fly outside of the no-fly zone. Peter Barry Duff Memorial Park in Paradise was the place we chose. It was open, it had easy access, it was safe for the kids, and most importantly, it was outside the no-fly zone.
A short time later, we received an email from Dana with a blog post she had found online from a company called Cloudbreaker. The post showed in detail that Transport Canada had further expanded their no-fly zone regulations to include most of the Avalon Peninsula. This eliminated Peter Barry Duff Park as a possible area for us to use, leaving us once again with nowhere to fly our drones.
While continuing to teach our students about the programming and functioning aspects of our drones, we began investigating ways to keep our project in the air. After reading Dana's email, I decided to research Cloudbreaker and discovered it's an aerial imaging company based in St. John's, operated by Chris LeGros, John Sturge, and Nick White. I decided to contact the company to see if they could offer us some suggestions of places best suited for our needs. Once they heard about our project, they were very eager to help us in any way possible. Chris, being a licensed pilot, has the necessary clearance to operate drones within the no-fly zone. Therefore, he offered to help us in any way he could.
After much discussion, Chris and Jamie thought it would be a good idea if we found a close location where students could gain hands-on experience flying the drones themselves before we did a flight plan outside. After contacting multiple places that would be suitable, Jim from the Techniplex learned of our project and its challenges and graciously offered the space to us for free, which easily provided the children with time to become proficient with the technology and flying capabilities of drones.
That's your left thumb. Everybody's left thumb goes up and down, that's your throttle. And your left thumb is also your steering wheel. Josh, just steer left there, steer right or left. See how he's turning it around? That's how y'all are turning it from one side to the other.
Good job, Sally. After reviewing the no-fly zone map and talking to the local RC Flyers Club, they suggested we try flying our drones in the Goulds area. Over our Easter break, Dana, Shane, and I went to the Goulds in search of a location that would be outside the no-fly zone, safe enough to host 60 children, while also providing us with a good place to collect data for our habitat unit. After a lot of searching, we decided on the Goulds racetrack. It provided us with everything we needed to have a safe flight and great local habitats.
Once our location was chosen and we were given clearance from the owner of the Goulds racetrack, we decided that Krista and I would like the opportunity to test the drones in the field before taking our students. Jamie came into school and worked through the steps of programming mission planner, safety checks, and general flight preparations. Then we went to Goulds racetrack to test our flight.
When we arrived at the racetrack, the wind was a little higher than we expected. We knew the drone was programmed to fly over the river autonomously and return to launch. We set everything up and began. It started off great and flew the path programmed. As it began to return, the wind caused major interference, taking the drone off its flight plan and forcing us to switch the controls back to manual. Even though we had control, it would not return to us. It took a new path over the pond and trees to the left of where we stood. We needed to land it, fearing it would hit something. We managed to force it to land behind a group of trees on the opposite side of the river. Wanting the drone and the GoPro attached back, Jamie agreed to go in search of it. The following day, after hours of searching and multiple phone calls and texts of the footage we shot that day, the drone was found.
While reflecting on what went wrong when Krista, Jamie, and myself went out to the Goulds racetrack, we discovered that the wind interfered with the GPS prop, and as a result, the drone didn't return to us when we requested it. After troubleshooting, we finally decided to return to the Goulds racetrack with our students. The wind was still not super favorable, but we all agreed that we would try it again.
From there, we did our safety checks and set up our drone equipment on the field of the racetrack. The children were super excited because they had programmed the flight mission we would be flying. Once the drone was lifted off the ground, the children turned on the autonomous mode and the drone was on its way. Unfortunately, like our previous mission, something happened as the drone was in mid-flight. The waypoints programmed were not being followed and another drone veered off into the distance and crashed. This time, however, the drone was not found. Trying to turn an unlucky situation into something positive for the children, we performed a post-mortem on where drone number 2 had gone and what possibly could have happened for it to lose control.
On the day we took the kids to the Goulds racetrack, Chris from Cloudbreaker was unable to come with us. He called the next day and wanted to hear all about our flight. When we told him what had happened, he immediately empathized for the kids and our bad luck. Wanting the students to experience a successful flight mission, Chris volunteered to take our students to the Manuals River area with their drone equipment.
Initially, he came into our school and did a presentation on drone safety, why he has special clearance to fly in a no-fly zone, and he plotted a flight with the students. Later that morning, we all traveled on a bus to the Manuals River area, set up the equipment, and completed 2 flights. One where the students captured in-flight aerial photos of the habitats around them, and the second flight where the students were able to shoot a video. project, we wanted to increase student motivation and problem solving through inquiry-based learning. At the beginning of our projects, students completed surveys in our Google Classroom regarding their feelings towards science. We completed the survey again at the end and found more students like doing experiments now than in the fall. There was an increase in the number of students that disliked worksheets and journals, and more students felt comfortable taking part in class discussions, group projects, and taking on problem-solving challenges. We also conducted student interviews through focus groups, and students completed a brainstorming activity to show their knowledge of drones at the beginning of the year and again at the end of the project.
They hover.
Drones can fly.
I don't know anything about drones. They can carry cameras. Mission Planner is used to program our drones. We do this on the computers by plotting waypoints and changing our altitudes.
When you think your drone is losing control or you cannot see it anymore, you need to return to launch.
Drones can only be flown in the fly zone. This is the only way for your GPS to work right. Inside the drone, there is a little computer that tells the drone what to do.
Using the footage collected from the Gould's racetrack and Manuel's River area, we began teaching students about Newfoundland habitats. They first viewed the footage and recorded visually the different habitats they saw.
Students also began identifying plants and animals that would use the areas as a habitat and how the habitat meets all of their needs.
To encourage students to use their problem-solving skills, we had them use the images from the Manuel's River chute and what the students had learned about habitats in class to create a new plant or animal that could meet all its needs in the habitat they chose. These activities helped to further students' understanding of Newfoundland habitats. It engaged the students because they collected the data themselves and was manageable for all students regardless of ability or language barriers. Throughout this process, we developed a deeper understanding of what teacher inquiry is and how it contributes to professional growth. Myself and Krista continuously differentiated our instruction and assessment using the 5E model. We learned the significance of having data-driven decision-making while monitoring the students' progress throughout. Before beginning this project, we both tried our best to encourage our students to be active participants in their own learning. This action research process has reinforced this idea while also highlighting the value of self-reflection and teacher learning.
Since the completion of this project, it has solidified for us how important motivation is to student learning. Also, we discovered throughout this process and having to face several challenges that it is okay for teachers to not have all the answers, and just because you don't, it doesn't impact student learning. Instead, it enriches the experience for everyone involved. We would like to say a special thank you to the Larkhall Academy administration for helping us throughout this project, our parent partner, Mr. Jamie Williams, and Cloudbreaker for everything you have done for us throughout the year. To our community partners, the RC Flyers Club, Technoplex, Gould's Racetrack, and Holy Spirit High. A special thank you to Memorial University and the Hibernia Management Development Company for the funding to complete this project, especially to Dana Griffith, Craig Adams, Tom Walsh, and Dr. Karen Goodenough. We would also like to thank the grade 4 students of Larkhall Academy for taking the time to take part in this project with us throughout the year.